What's up, guys? We're here today with a massive slate of Saturday NCAA basketball action for December 13th. We're going to look at a bunch of the biggest games on the day. I'll give you my massive lock and my favorite underdog pick of the day. Also, if you're looking for picks on the NBA Cup, you got to get down there in the description or wait till the end of this video and get over to our secondary channel. More Stump the Spread. We've got a NBA Cup video covering both games there on Saturday on the NBA side. So get over there and check that out. There's a link in the description. You'll be able to get over there. And also, I'll have that video posted here at the end of this video. So a couple different ways to get over there and check that video out. Do me a big favor. Slam that like button. It's a favor to me and a favor to you because we made it to over 600 likes on yesterday's video. So we are going to give away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random commenter from the Friday video in this video. So if we can make it to 700 likes on this NCAA basketball video here on Saturday, we'll give away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random commenter on this video. So make sure, number one, you're subscribed to the channel here. Make sure you drop a comment down below. And number one, I guess overall, make sure you click that thumbs up button and help us get to 700 likes on this video. I really appreciate you guys helping us pump these numbers up a little bit here. As always, you know my favorite picks will be in the pinned comment on this video. Also, get over to stumpthespread.com. Check out everything we offer over there. In terms of a recap, we're doing recaps still over here on this channel. We're going to look back at what happened yesterday. It was a pretty brutal day. Got off to a tough start there on that underplay on the Hornets Bulls, and trends really letting us down in that one. And both teams shot well over 50% from the field. Very tilting to lose that one like that. Miles Bridges was part of that. I sure know how to pick him. He ends up making 4 threes, going 4 of 7 from long range in this game. His best shooting night from long range in over a month. So that one stung. Got a little bit of healing there. We had the Mavs at -7.5, and we got some run good. A terrible day overall, but Dallas does come through. Cooper Flagg, Clay, Max Christie, Anthony Davis all playing great. We get the very close 119-111 win and cover there for the Mavs. We've still got the Warriors live at -4.5. We do see that Anthony Edwards end up sitting that game out, so hopefully Golden State can take care of business and get a comfortable win in that one. We were very unfortunately on the Pacers at +7.5 as our dog of the day. Embiid had the best game of the season by a landslide margin, and his foul grifting was rewarded with 18 trips to the line. Despite all that, and despite somehow shooting only 40% from the field against the Philadelphia 76ers, the Pacers lose this game by 10 points. So that was a tilter. Also, we followed a massive college basketball trend there and took East Texas A&M +18.5. They could not even stay on the floor with McNeese in the first half. Then the second half playing basically even. Unfortunately, by that point, it was too little too late. So we ended up losing on that as well. So a brutal day out there. We're switching up. We're getting over to the college basketball streets. That's where we were born. That's where we were raised. Let's get after it. We're going to hop right in this full slate here on Saturday. We're going to be looking at number 9 Michigan State going on the road to take on Penn State there, and it's an 11 a.m. tip. Before we dive in and look at number 9 Michigan State going on the road to take on Penn State, we're going to go ahead and pick a random commenter, a winner from the video there on Friday. And looks like this winner is going to be Dave Just 1460. So get down there. You see the comment that you made, not exactly the most positive one, but get down there in the comments. Let us see that you won the giveaway, and we will get that hoodie out to you as soon as we possibly can. Now, guys, let's hop in and look at that Michigan State Spartans against Penn State Nittany Lions. Now, Michigan State, they're 8-1 on the season. They have arguably been one of the best teams in college basketball this year. Their only loss in the season, they fell 66-60 against Duke in a game that was basically a one-score game all the way down the stretch. They've got big wins this season already over number 14 Arkansas, number 12 Kentucky, and number 16 North Carolina. They also knocked off a very good Iowa team 71-52. So liking a lot of what we're seeing from Michigan State in that loss against Duke. There just wasn't a lot going on offensively in that game in general. Michigan State did still shoot 36% from 3, but only 32% from the field in general. They kept things even on the boards. Their assist numbers looked good. Their turnover numbers looked great. It was just a little bit of shot making that they were lacking, and they're not a team that has a ton of great bench scoring, or at least didn't in that game against Duke. So we'll see what they can do to get back on track here. They are a very good team. Elite defensively. They're in the top 40 in the nation in rebounding numbers. Jackson Kohler, a monster, putting up 14.2 points per game and shooting over 50% from the field. But Jeremy Fears, almost 10 assists per game and 10 points. He's killing it. So a lot to like there for Michigan State. They are going on the road in this one to take on Penn State. Now, the Nittany Lions are 8-2 on the year. Their record looks very, very good, but when you look back at who they've played, all of a sudden that starts to dry up quite a bit. I mean, their best win on the entire season, I suppose, has maybe been Navy or Harvard or Fairfield or something. Like, they lost to Providence by 12. They've also lost at Indiana their last time out in a 113-72 blowout loss. Now, their season-long numbers all look fairly acceptable, except for they're a terrible rebounding team. Their defense isn't that great either, and against Indiana, they were clearly just dramatically outclassed. Not a good showing at all. They shot 31% from three, so congrats on that. They got out-rebounded in that game. They gave up crazy shooting numbers there from Indiana. It looked like practice for them out there, so not a lot of reason to be super pumped about what we're seeing from Penn State. They are getting 11.5 points in this game. We've got a total of 144.5. Michigan State is 5-4 against the spread. They're 7-2 to the under. Penn State, they are 3-7 against the spread. They are 5-5 to the over/under. Guys, this has potentially be our lock of the day right here off the bat. Definitely giving Michigan State here in a huge bounce back situation. I think they go in there and absolutely obliterate Penn State here. 11.5 is not going to be enough. I think we see the Spartans win this game comfortably by around 20 or more. They're just the better team on both sides of the ball, have more talent. They're going to dominate the boards. This game is not going to be close. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Arkansas Razorbacks going on the road to take on number 16 Texas Tech. This is a 17 versus 16 matchup. The Razorbacks come into this game 7-2 on the year. They're fresh off a very comfortable win there over Fresno State, but their real signature wins so far this season, or the real signature win, singular, I should say, was taking down number 6 Louisville 89-80. They did lose a 3-point game against Michigan State this year. They lost by 9 against Duke, albeit in a game that looked like it could maybe go either way, but we've liked a lot what we've seen from Arkansas. I mean, in that win over Louisville, they played great, no doubt about it. Only 6 of 18 from 3, but did a good job getting to the free throw line 35 times. Is that something you can count on a nightly basis? Well, maybe playing at home you can, but I don't think they can necessarily count on that in this game. I liked what we saw just pretty much across the board. Like, they played pretty well, but they were really getting an extremely favorable whistle in that game. So we'll see if that's something they can count on here down the stretch. They have been a pretty solid offensive team. The defensive numbers look fine as well. They're okay on the boards, but in their big step-up competitions, like, except for against Louisville, they've always measured up just a little bit short. So we'll see what they can do in this one. They are going on the road here, pretty much a true road game, playing against Texas Tech. They're in Texas. The Red Raiders, they're 16th in the nation. They've played well, although they did lose to Illinois 81-77. They lost to Purdue 86-56. And other than that, not a lot of crazy wins here. I mean, they took down Wake Forest, but that was by 1 point. They beat New Orleans walking away. They beat Wyoming in a very close game, and their last time out, they just blew out LSU 82-58. So there's things to feel good about, but not things to feel good about in their big step-up games. I mean, they shot the lights out against LSU, played great across the board. Christian Anderson, 27 points, an elite shooting night from him. He played really well. The bench looked good, 2 double-digit scores off the bench. Lots of good news there, albeit against an LSU team that hasn't really distinguished themselves this season. So we'll see what the Red Raiders can do here at home. I mean, JT Toppin is obviously a monster, 20.8 points per game, elite numbers. Christian Anderson, 7 assists in 19 points per game. Like, this team is elite. Don't get me wrong. They're very good. And at home, interesting to see them only 1.5 point favorites. You got a total of 151.5 in this game. Arkansas is 6-3 against the spread. They're also 6-3 to the under. Texas Tech is 3-6 against the spread. They're also 6-3 to the under. I'm going to be leaning just slightly here towards Arkansas, despite this being a road spot for them. But better than that, just give me under 151.5. I don't think we're going to see a massive high-scoring game in this one from either team. I mean, you can look at what they've done in their step-up games. We have seen some higher-scoring games out there, but I don't necessarily think that this is going to be one of them. We'll see. Nothing from this one's going to make the pinned comment. This is going to be a very interesting game to watch here, though, because Texas Tech, hasn't been all that tested, and Arkansas is pretty battle tested. So yeah, lean towards the Razorbacks, lean towards the under, but I think we've got greener pastures out there. Next up, we're looking at Oklahoma State Cowboys. They're going on the road here to take on the Oklahoma Sooners. So we got a rivalry game on our hands. Oklahoma State, they're 9-0, opening the year undefeated so far, but fairly untested. They have beat Texas A&M, they beat South Florida, they beat Northwestern, and their last time out an 84-78, pretty close win, pretty competitive stuff there against Grand Canyon. Now, Oklahoma State kind of looking to turn things around. Not a great year last year, that's for sure, but they've done some good stuff this season. We've liked what we've seen from Victorious Miller, 16 points per game, shooting 57% from the field, very good. Jalen Curry, 15 points per game and 5 assists, all very solid numbers. They're technically 15th in the nation in points per game, given they haven't faced a toughest schedule. Maybe that's not as impressive. impressive. Their rebound numbers also look elite, so we'll see what they can do. This is as close as they'll have gotten so far this year to, a pretty serious test. And like I said, kind of a rivalry spot here, taking on their in-state rivals, the Oklahoma Sooners. They are 6-3 on the season. They played a bit of a tougher schedule. They lost against Gonzaga. They lost in a very close barn burner of a game there against Nebraska. And then the last time out, it was an 86-70 loss against Arizona State. So not their best showing in that one. They also got a 1-point win over Marquette, blowout win there against Wake Forest. So there have been some positives. There have also been some kind of letdown performances there from Oklahoma in that bad loss there against Arizona State. I say bad loss. It's not that bad of a loss, obviously, but we didn't love what we saw just, from the starting unit in general. I mean, it's just not looking that hot. The shooting wasn't great either. 10 of 36 from the field, only made 62% of their 26 free throws. That's a bad look. They got slightly out-rebounded in this game. They lost the turnover battle, and they just could not stop Arizona State from shooting the lights out from distance. So not a great day there from the Sooners. Their season-long numbers, I mean, they're not atrocious. I mean, Pack leads the way for them with 17 points. They're in the top 70 in points per game. Their defense, though, is a pretty big concern. So look at the numbers here, guys. Oklahoma, they are 1.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 165.5 in this game. Oklahoma State, they're 5-4 against the spread this season. They're 5-4 to the over. Oklahoma, they are 2-6-1 against the spread. They are 6-3 to the under. Some very, very mixed trends here, but in general, I think we want to lean just slightly here towards Oklahoma State. This is at the Paycom Center, so this isn't really, a true home game for either team. Definitely a cool rivalry spot. I'm going to back the hot team in this one. Give me Oklahoma State. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and as you already know, I'm sure, that's stumpthespread.com. Click the link in the description to get over there and see the top confidence picks, our best possible picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. We have a great squad over there. Every single guy has over a decade's worth of experience covering his given sport. We're coming off a nice day over there on the NBA prop side, cashing both of the props that we sent out there to the premium members yesterday. That was a nice little day there, and every single day, guys, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. We've got props in the mix all the time. I know there's a big UFC slate coming out soon, so lots of great information in there. A little 2-0 day there over on the NBA props side is nice. A little bit of, some downturns there on the NHL side, but that was a little bit unfortunate. The Blackhawks coming away with the win in that one. We still got the Warriors live, and the premium members got that at the better price. Got them at -1.5. We'll see if this can turn out to be a good day over there for the premium members. But overall, guys, you got to keep in mind it was a very, very short slate out there on both college basketball and the NBA side. So not a crazy amount cooking out there, in the professional sports world, but tons of action coming up on Saturday. We have a crazy amount of premium action on the college football side. Tons of NFL stuff coming up on Sunday. There's going to be a lot of premium college basketball picks in the mix there on Saturday as well. So definitely want to make sure that you are not missing out on any of that. Check out the premium stuff over there at stumpthespread.com, but you also got to make sure you're checking in on the free stuff over there. There will be free picks every single day over there under the free picks tab. We cashed our email pick there yesterday, so you got to make sure you're getting on that email list. Cashed Xavier -17.5. It was close. Don't get me wrong. It was very, very close, but they do get the 18-point win for us in the cover in that game. But those email picks have been red hot, and tons of great information, tons of great picks in those emails as well. You definitely got to get on that email list. It's really, really easy to sign up to. All you got to do is go to stumpthespread.com, either by clicking the link in the description or just by typing stumpthespread.com into your browser of choice. Click that little green login button at the top right-hand corner of the screen. That'll prompt you to set up a free account. All they're going to ask for is your name and your email address. That's it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox every single day, packed with great sports betting information. So make sure that you're not missing out on that. Huge write-ups coming out on NFL and on college football for this weekend. So it's a great time to dive in. And also those NFL props coming off a bad week 14, cooked in week 13, like what you've been seeing on the screen now. So make sure that you are getting in on that. Definitely don't miss out on that. Also get over to stumpthespread.com if you're interested in buying a Stump the Spread hoodie. We have those available for sale now over under the shop tab. And also, guys, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but also get access to our members only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every single Monday to one YouTube channel member. We put the name of every member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel live on the video, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address of choice. So definitely make sure you're getting in on that. Let's go ahead and dive back in though, guys. We got a crazy amount of games to still cover here on the college basketball side. And next up, we're going to be looking at the Marquette Golden Eagles going on the road to take on the number 6 Purdue Boilermakers. Marquette's had a bit of a tough way to go this season. They've played a very legit schedule. They're only 5-5 overall though. Not a ton of great wins, to be honest. Their last time out, they lost by 20 against Wisconsin, and things are not getting any easier here as they have to head to Purdue. So could be a little bit of a rough sailing here for the Golden Eagles. Against Wisconsin, not a lot went right. They shot 9 of 29 from 3. They only made 47% of their free throws. That's a huge yikes, and they got dominated on the board. So not great. Those are things you definitely can't afford to be terrible at if you're going to be taking on Purdue, one of the best teams in the nation. Marquette, they're led by Chase Ross. He's scoring almost 20 per game, dishing out around 4 assists. Very good, very respectable there, but overall this season, their offensive numbers do not have them among the elites in the league. Their rebounding numbers are a concern, and their defense has been downright bad. So I'm a little bit worried here as they go on the road to take on Purdue. The Boilermakers have obviously been very solid this season. They're 9-1 on the year. They're fresh off a bounce-back blowout win there over Minnesota. That was a bounce-back after a bad loss. I mean, not a bad loss. You lost to a top 10 team in the nation, but they didn't put up a very good fight there against Iowa State. They've got some good wins already under their belt, knocking off Texas Tech, Memphis, Alabama, Rutgers. Like, they've beaten some good teams this season, so a lot to feel good about for Purdue. We gotta love, honestly, what we saw across the board for them in that bounce-back win over Minnesota. 5 starters scoring in double digits. We had a double-digit score coming off the bench as well. They shot 42% from 3 in this game. They dominated the glass, completely dominated the glass, so a lot of positives there for Purdue, and their season-long numbers look the way you would expect them to look. An absolutely elite defensive team, very, very good on the boards. Their scoring numbers are good as well, so I'm expecting positive stuff here from Purdue, and so are the odds makers. That's why they're 18.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 154.5. Marquette's 2-7-1 against the spread this year. They are 6-4 to the over. Purdue's 5-5 against the spread. They are 7-3 to the under. Guys, I do like Purdue here to get the winning cover a little bit. It's not a play that's going to make the pin comment because I am worried about the look-ahead spot. They do have Auburn on deck after this one, so that's probably going to keep it out of the pin comment, but I do think we see the Boilermakers really, lay the wood in this one and end up winning this game by around 20 points. Rolling right along here, we're looking at the Cincinnati Bearcats going on the road to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. Cincinnati 6-3 on the year. They've done some good stuff. They knocked off Dayton. They played a tough game against Louisville. Since then, though, it hasn't been that smooth as sailing. Their last time out, they lost 79-74 at Xavier. So some struggles for sure. Cincinnati, not the toughest offensive team, or at least not the best showing there against Xavier. They only shot 38% from the field. They did make 33% of their threes, though. 11 from 33 from long range is good. They shot 50%, 11 of 22 from the free throw line, though. And despite the fact they dominated the boards in this game, 51-37, it was not enough. That's a bit of a concern. Not a team with an insane amount of offensive talent. Lots of athletes, though. That is definitely the case. We'll see what they can do in this one, see if they get a little bounce back in them. Day Thomas leads his team in scoring with 13.9 per game, shooting under 40% from the field. Kind of gives you an idea where they're at. Their rebounding numbers look great. Their offensive numbers, not so great, but defensively, this is a very, very good team. So we'll see what they can do here on the road. They're taking on the Georgia Bulldogs, who are 8-1 to start their season. Haven't played the craziest schedule. They have beaten Georgia Tech. They beat Xavier. They lost by 3 to Clemson in a game that could have went either way. Their last time out, they obliterated Florida State 107-73. So that was a very, very good look. They're posting some decent season-long numbers as well. Obviously, very good statistics there in their blowout win over Florida State. I mean, they shot 37% from 3, made 76% of their free throws, dominated the boards, shot 57% from the field overall. 3 double-digit scores there in the starting lineup, 1 coming off the bench, and this is a game they cleared the bench, so yeah, a very, very good day there. Jeremiah Wilkinson leads this team in scoring, 17 points per game, very reasonable stuff. They're first in the nation somehow, guys, in points per game, averaging 99.9 points per contest. They're 9th in rebounding. This team likes to get out there and run. We'll see what they can do in this one. Obviously, got to feel pretty good here if you're Georgia playing at home or playing, in Georgia. They're currently 8.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 155.5. Cincinnati, they are 2-7 against the spread. They're 6-3 to the under. Georgia's 5-4 against the spread. They're 6-3 to the over. This is a spot where I'm going to be looking at the team playing in their home state. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs here at -8.5. I think they're going to have a nice little crowd advantage in this game. I think that will certainly help. I think they get a pretty comfortable double-digit win here over a Cincinnati team that just doesn't feel quite skilled enough to, run with Georgia the way that Georgia's going to want to run in this game. Rolling right along, guys, we're looking at the George Washington Revolutionaries heading to Florida to take on the number 18 Gators. Now, this one is going to be played in Florida, so that's a good sign for Florida. But George Washington, they're 8-3 on the year. They've had some decent showings. They knocked off South Florida earlier in the season. They did lose to McNeese. They also lost to Murray State. They beat Army and William and Mary. And their last time out, they took a 70-58 loss against Delaware. I don't know if any of that really prepares you to take on what they're about to face going up against Florida. Rafael Castro, 15.5 points per game, leading this team, and he's shooting 65% from the field. That's all great, but you just lost to the Delaware Blue Hens 70-58. That is not a good look. In that game, they shot 8 of 28 from the field, or from 3, and 18 of 62 from the field. Nothing was going in there. I mean, Trey Autry led the team with 17 points. He shot the ball well, but they, won the battle of the boards and still lost this game convincingly. So not a good day there from George Washington. Their offensive numbers there on the season look okay, but defensively they're not great. On the boards they're not great, and they also have not played anyone anywhere close to this level. The Florida Gators are 5-4 on the season. They're ranked 18th in the nation despite those 4 losses, but those losses came against Arizona, who's looking like one of the best teams in the nation, TCU, and then their last 2 games were against number 4 Duke, they lost by 1, and number 5 UConn, they lost that game by 4. This is an elite level team, guys. They've taken some losses here, but they lined up a hell of a schedule to face in the early goings. They really did not shoot the ball well against UConn, only 4 of 15 from the 3-point line, but they did a great job on the boards. That's what really gave them a chance in this game. UConn knocked down a lot of shots, though, and Florida, well, they're going up against a slightly different opponent in this one, and the Gators, they're 15.5-point favorites in this game, and the reason for that is they're currently 3rd in the nation in rebounding. They're an elite defensive team. Thomas Hughes, a monster out there. This team is loaded with talent. Florida, 15.5-point favorites, total of 165.5. George Washington, guys, they're 5-5 against the spread, and they're 6-4 to the over. Florida's only 2-7 against the spread. They're 6-3 to the under. I love Florida to get a monster blowout winning cover in this one. I don't think George Washington's going to get a single rebound in this game. I think the Gators are going to dominate the glass. I think they're going to dominate offensively. They're going to make their shots, and they're going to win this game in an absolute laugher. Yeah, I don't think the Revolutionaries are ready for what's going to happen. Next up, we're looking at the Memphis Tigers. They're heading to Louisville to take on the number 11 Cardinals. Now, this game will be played at the KFC Yum Center there in Louisville, Kentucky, so a true road game here for Memphis. They're 4-4 on the season. They have won 3 in a row, taking down Southern Illinois, New Orleans, and Baylor. A nice 7-point win there over Baylor looks good. They also played a close game against Purdue, but they've also lost to Ole Miss this year, lost to UNLV, lost to Wake Forest, so they played a tough schedule, don't get me wrong, but they also haven't had all that much success in that tough schedule, so we'll see what they can do in this one. I mean, in that win over Baylor, liked a lot of what we saw. Obviously, they shot the ball pretty well in that game, at least, from the free throw line, 19 of 25 from the free throw line, but 3 of 16 from 3 raises some concerns. This is not necessarily an elite level shooting team from deep. Kept things even on the boards, so that's a good look. They played some good defense, though, and that really, really helped them get over the top in this game. Memphis, I mean, their season-long numbers aren't elite. They have played a tough schedule, like I said, but I do worry about their rebounding, and just their overall offensive production is a bit of a concern here as they head into Louisville to take on the Cardinals, who are 8-1 on the season. They're now ranked number 11 in the nation after their 87-78 win over number 22 Indiana. They did lose to Arkansas earlier this year, but other than that, they've looked very, very good. They knocked off Kentucky. That was a good look. In their win over Indiana, a lot of things went right there for the Cardinals. I mean, they shot 13 of 31 from 3. That's 42%. Made 86% of their free throws. Did a good job keeping things even on the boards. 4 double-digit scores there in the starting lineup. Ryan Conwell, 21 points, a very good day from him. He did get to the line a lot. That was where he did most of his damage, but still very, very good. And Kobe Rogers, 4 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, 12 points for him. So overall, a very good showing there from Louisville. They're 9th in the nation in points per game. They're 13th in rebounding, and they're an elite level defense. So look at the numbers, guys. They're 16.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 159.5. Memphis is 7-1 against the spread this season. Kind of wild. They are 5-3 to the under. Louisville's 6-3 against the spread. They're 5-4 to the over. I do actually think this is too many points. I will side just slightly here with Memphis. Getting all these points in a big, big spot for this team. I do think they find a way to keep this to around a 10-point game. Do I think they're going to win? Not really, but I do think this is a spot where you might want to consider backing Memphis, especially they're such a good team against the spread. I do think they find a way to keep this one relatively close. Next on the docket is one of the bigger games on the slate. We've got number 23 Nebraska going on the road to take on number 13 Illinois there in Illinois at the State Farm Center there in Champaign, Illinois. Nebraska, they're 10-0 to start the year, killing it. Now, they haven't played the toughest opponents, but their last two games, they've had some decent ones mixed in there too. I mean, took down Oklahoma, took down New Mexico, took down Kansas State. That was a 1-point game. They comfortably dismissed Creighton by 21, and then they blew away Wisconsin their last time out 90-60. A crazy game there from the Cornhuskers. They played amazing, obviously shot the ball pretty well, 11 of 30 from 3, 54% from the field in general. Did a good job on the boards, had a nice little lead there, turned the ball over less times than their opponent, racked up 4 steals and 6 blocks. Like, it was a pretty solid performance. 4 out of their 5 starters scored in double figures, 15 points off the bench there from Braden Frager. He played great, so a lot of positives here for a pretty spunky looking Nebraska Cornhuskers team. We're liking what we're seeing from Mast. He's putting up 18 points per game, shooting 55% from the field. Their offensive numbers look good. I mean, very good, and their defense is excellent as well. The rebounding, we'll see how that goes against an elite opponent, but a lot to like right now about Nebraska. Now, Illinois, they're 8-2 on the season, and they're ranked number 13 in the nation for a reason. They beat Texas Tech. They lost in a very close game there against Alabama. They played a not quite as competitive game there against UConn, but then took care of business against number 13 Tennessee, and their last time out got an 88-80 win there over Ohio State. Now, that was well played there by the Fighting Illini for sure. It was a very competitive game, though. We liked what we saw from them in general. I mean, they shot the ball great from 3. They shot 41% from long range, 11 of 27 from deep. They also shot 32 free throws in that game. That was a pretty big free throw disparity in that one. They did a good job on the board, so a lot of positives there, but can they really depend? I mean, they are going to be at home in this one, so maybe they will get all the calls again. We'll have to kind of wait and see. Their offense is obviously amazing. Their rebounding numbers are excellent. We'll see what they can do here against Nebraska. I do think the Cornhuskers are a pretty good team. We see a couple different numbers still floating around out there. The Illini are either 8.5 or 9.5 point favorites. We've got a total of 154.5. Nebraska is 6-4 against the spread. They're also 6-4 to the under. Illinois is 6-4 against the spread. They are 7-3 to the under. So I guess we do have to consider the potential of taking under 154.5 in this game. I don't think I love it, though. Better than that, I think I'm going to lean towards the Cornhuskers getting 9.5 points. Feels like potential dog of the day territory. I think this is a very good team. I think they're going to have their chances in this game, and they've been good against the spread. I mean, playing on the road here could be a little bit tough, but I do like this spot for Nebraska. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Pittsburgh Panthers heading to Villanova to take on the Wildcats. Pittsburgh's 5-5 on the season. They have lost 4 out of their last 5 games and haven't had a lot of smooth sailing. They did get that 1-point win over Ohio State. They just lost to Hofstra their last time out, though, 80-73. So that was a little bit of a tough look. Lost to Texas A&M, lost to Quinnipiac, lost to UCF. It's been a rough few games, don't get me wrong. I mean, in that loss against Hofstra, not a lot went the way they were hoping. They gave up 36 points there to Cruz Davis. That's not a great look. They only had 1 double-digit scorer there in the starting lineup. Brandon Cummings did have 34 points off the bench there for Pitt. Shot the ball really well from 3, but none of that was enough to get them over the top here against a Hofstra Pride squad that, I don't know if you're the Pittsburgh Panthers, you want to be a competitive team in the ACC. I don't know if that's the kind of game you're supposed to be losing. So not a great look there. They are 336th in the nation in total offense, 240th in total rebounding. You can see where I'm going with this one, guys. I'm not super impressed by the Pittsburgh Panthers. They're taking on a Villanova team that is 7-2 on the year. They're fresh off an 89-61 blowout loss there at the hands of number 2 Michigan. But in their defense, Michigan's blowing out everybody, so that's going to happen to a lot of teams. They don't have a ton of great wins on the docket, but they did almost knock off BYU to open their season. So, a 5-point game against a top 8 opponent is not a terrible look. We like what we've seen from Bryce Lindsey this year. We like what we see from them in terms of, just total offensive production. Their defense isn't terrible either. So there's some positives here for Villanova, and they're definitely in a nice bounce-back spot. They are 10-point favorites here at home, though. We've got a total of 138, so a pretty low total, but both teams are showing trends towards the under. Pitt, they're 4-6 against the spread. They're 6-4 to the under. Villanova's 6-3 against the spread. They are 5-4 to the under, so perhaps we could consider under here, but in a true home game for Villanova, I think the Wildcats do get the job done in this one. I think Bryce Lindsey has a big game here. I think they shoot the ball much better from the field and from 3 in this spot, so definitely give me Villanova here to get the win and cover. Heading into the late afternoon kind of evening slate, we're looking at the Kansas Jayhawks, the number 19 Kansas Jayhawks, going on the road to take on the NC State Wolfpack. Now, this one is going to be played in Raleigh, North Carolina. Kansas is going to be playing on the road here. They're 7-3. They're coming off a 20-point win there over their Mizzou rivals, so that's got to feel good. They played a very competitive game there against UConn. They beat Tennessee. They beat Syracuse. They beat Notre Dame, but they did lose pretty handily there against Duke. They also lost to North Carolina. But it seems like this team is getting better as the season goes on. Liking a lot of what we're seeing right now. They're maybe getting a little bit healthier, which is a good look. Peterson being back is certainly, a net positive. And against Mizzou, like a lot of good stuff went on there for Kansas. They took care of business against a rival. They shot 43% from three. Had a good night shooting from the free throw line as well. 41-35 rebound edge, so that's nice. And yeah, 4 double-digit scores there in the starting lineup. Peterson came back and had 17 points in 23 minutes. Just a lot of positives there for Kansas. Maybe the only negative was their bench didn't look great, but offensively this year, they've been fine. The rebounding numbers are good, and the defense is looking elite. So a lot of positives here as they go on the road to take on an NC State team that has had some issues there in terms of, playing step-up competition. They've lost to Seton Hall. They've lost to Texas. They've lost to Auburn. Their last 2 games were wins, but when those wins are against UNC, Asheville, and Liberty, I'm not about to throw you a parade for any of that. Darian Williams leads the team, putting up 15.9 points per game. Technically, they're 25th in the nation in offense, but when you look at how they've gotten those numbers, it loses a lot of its appeal. And their rebounding is also a big concern in this one. So I'm pretty shocked here. Maybe the odds makers are trying to tell us something, but NC State, they're only 1.5 point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 150.5. Kansas, they're 6-4 against the spread. They're 8-2 to the under. NC State's 5-5 against the spread. They're 5-5 to the over/under. I mean, if it's a trap, sign me up to get trapped. I'm taking Kansas here to get the win. I'll take them straight up on the money line, or we're getting 1.5 points. Either way, I think it's fine to take Kansas in this spot. We're going to do a little discount double check here on that line to just make sure something's not amiss. Something didn't get changed. Something weird hasn't happened, because that just seems like way too good of a deal, but you never know. I mean, yeah, we're now up to Kansas getting 2.5 or 3. Definitely sign me up for Kansas in this spot. We're going to go ahead and change this to -3 for NC State. And yeah, give me the Kansas Jayhawks here getting 3 points. This has the potential to be our dog of the day. Next on the docket in another ESPN game, we're looking at the Indiana Hoosiers going on the road to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Indiana's 8-2 on the season. They are coming off a win over Penn State, a big bounce-back blowout win for them for sure. They needed that after losing against Minnesota and losing a kind of competitive game there against number 6 Louisville. Over the course of the year, they haven't had tons of success against big-name opponents. I mean, they beat Kansas State. I don't think you get too much credit for that one, but yeah, in that game against Louisville, they did keep it fairly competitive, so they deserve credit for that for sure. But 32% from 3, 79% from the free throw line, keeping things even on the boards. None of that was good enough when you're not going to be able to defend anybody on Louisville. So I'm not in love with what we're seeing from Indiana right now. They do come into this season, very highly touted. They are still 36th in the nation in points per game, but their rebounding numbers are a big concern here as they go on the road to take on the Kentucky Wildcats here. This game is being played in Lexington, and Kentucky, they're 6-4 in the season, but they've played a tough schedule. They've lost to Louisville, they've lost to Michigan State, they lost to North Carolina, and they lost to Gonzaga. Now, the problem is they really don't have a great showing in any of those games to hang their hat on necessarily. I guess it was a very close one-score game there against North Carolina, but I'm a little bit worried. They blew out NC Central their last time out. Great, well played. Over the course of the year, they're 33rd in rebounding. They're 63rd in points per game. So some positives there. The question is, can they really take advantage of an Indiana team here on the glass that's having to play on the road? Potentially, I could see that being a reality. They are 4.5 point favorites in this game, so the odds makers like them. We've got a total of 155. The Hoosiers are 6-4 against the spread this year. They're also 6-4 to the over. Kentucky's 4-6 against the spread. They're 5-5 to the over/under. First up, I do kind of like over 155 in this game. I think we'll see a good amount of scoring, and both teams being around 80 makes a lot of sense to me. In terms of a side, though, I will take Kentucky here -4.5. I think this is a nice get-right spot for them. I know they kind of already had a get-right spot against a terrible opponent, but they need to show out against somebody good, and as long as we're not, worried about their look-ahead spot against St. John's, I think they should be in good shape in this one. Rolling along here, guys, we got the number 2 Michigan Wolverines going on the road to take on the Maryland Terrapins. Michigan, guys, they're 9-0 on the season. They've been killing it. They've beaten Auburn. They've beaten Gonzaga. They have taken on every challenge in front of them. They got a blowout in their last time out over Villanova. They beat Rutgers by 41. This team is cruising. I mean, in that blowout win there over the Villanova Wildcats, they just didn't take any prisoners. They got this blowout win despite shooting the ball very poorly from 3. and very poorly from the free throw line, and they still get the blowout win. Crazy stuff. They owned the boards, out-rebounding Villanova 53-33. Crazy work there. This is a super talented, super deep team here for Michigan. They're currently 8th in the nation in points per game, 4th in rebounds per game, 6th in assists per game, and they've played a really tough schedule. Like, they're getting blowout wins against teams like Auburn. They beat Auburn 102-72. Like, this team is scary. So we'll see what they can do here. Going on the road to take on Maryland. They are going to be playing this one in College Park, Maryland. The Terrapins are 6-4 on the season. They have lost 3 out of their last 4, though. Losing by 40 to Gonzaga, losing by a ton to Alabama, beating Wagner, okay, and then losing by 19 points there at Iowa. So they are back home for this one. I kind of struggle to see elite wins that this team has come up with. Farrell Payne, 19 points per game, that's great, cool. They're 211th in the nation offense. They are allowing more points than they're averaging. That's not a great look. The defense, not amazing. The rebounding, not amazing. And they're taking on about the toughest challenge you can face this year. And there's no look-ahead spot for Michigan. So the Terrapins are getting 17.5 points. We've got a total of 153. Michigan's 6-3 against the spread. They're 5-4 to the under. Maryland's only 3-7 against the spread this year. They're 8-2 to the over. I don't really see a way that Michigan doesn't win this game by 20 plus. This could potentially be our lock of the day. I know it's a lot of points. I know we're taking a road team in a college basketball game, but the Wolverines have just been way too dominant this season. They dominated their last game and they couldn't throw it in the ocean. I definitely think the Wolverines get a blowout win and cover here against Maryland. Next up, guys, looking at the Ohio State Buckeyes going on the road to take on West Virginia. Ohio State's 7-2 on the season. Their losses were against Pitt, and then their last time out was an 88-80 competitive loss there against number 13 Illinois. They haven't faced an insane schedule this year, so the fact they've already got a couple losses is not great. That Pitt game is definitely one they wish they could have back. They end up losing that one by only 1, so, you're going to have some mistakes mixed in there for sure, especially early in the season, but they didn't really play great there against Illinois. Struggled with that Illinois defense. They fouled a lot in that game. Illinois also had an edge there on the board. So Ohio State still a lot to prove this year. Bruce Thornton putting up over 21 per game is certainly a good look. They're 44th in the nation offense, but the rebounding does raise some eyebrows. Now they're taking on a West Virginia team that's 8-3 on the season. They're coming off a blowout win over Little Rock, but they lost to Wake Forest. They've lost to Clemson and Xavier this year, albeit in very competitive games. Their biggest win this season, I suppose, was over Pitt. Not the craziest schedule so far this year for West Virginia. We'll see what they can eventually do in Big 12 play. Honor Huff putting up 17.3 per game is great, but their season-long numbers, except for their defense, leaves a lot to be desired. But looking at the numbers here, guys, West Virginia is getting 4.5 points at home. We've got a total of 139.5. Ohio State's 4-5 against the spread. They're also 5-4 to the over. West Virginia is 6-5 against the spread. They're 5-1 to the over/under. I'm going to lean a bit towards the home team. Give me West Virginia getting points in this spot. I think their defense is good enough to slow down Ohio State, especially playing at home here. West Virginia historically very tough regardless of sport when playing at home. So give me a little taste of the Mountaineers here getting 4.5 points. Rounding into the home stretch, guys, we're looking at the number 1 Arizona Wildcats going on the road to take on the number 12 Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, Arizona, they're number 1 in the nation for a reason. They're 8-0. They've knocked off Florida. They knocked off UCLA, UConn, Auburn, and they've got Alabama in this one. So they've been playing out of their minds. They haven't even really been threatened hardly this season. Their game against UConn was very close, and I guess it was a competitive one there against UCLA, but the Wildcats have just looked insane. They're one of the best offensive teams in the nation, one of the best defensive teams in the nation, one of the best rebounding teams in the nation. Like, in that blowout win there over Auburn, everything you could ask for went right. They shot 40% from 3. They did a good job on the boards. They made most of their free throws. They shot 61% from the field. They had 4 starters scoring double figures. Like, everything has been going right here for Arizona. So we'll see what they can do on the road, taking on a very tough Alabama team. But is this a true road game here? This game's going to be played. Oh, yeah, this is a true game. Well, pretty true road game. It's going to be played in Alabama there. So the Crimson Tide, 7-2 on the year. They've beaten Maryland and Clemson. They did lose to Gonzaga. They did beat Illinois, though. And they also beat St. John's, but lost to Purdue. So they've had a very tough schedule. No doubt about that. LeBaron, he's a monster. 21.4 points per game. This is a team that likes to get out and run. Their offensive numbers are off the charts, don't get me wrong. So makes sense they were able to destroy UTSA their last time out, but this is going to be an even more real test. And looking at the numbers, guys, Alabama, 1.5 point favorite. So we basically got a pick 'em game here. We've got a total of 176.5. Arizona's 5-3 against the spread. They're a 500 over-under team. Alabama, they're a 500 against the spread team and a 500 over-under team. Hard to find a huge edge in this one, especially with Alabama being at home. I will lean a bit towards Arizona, playing away from home in this one on the road, but This one probably not going to be anywhere near the pinned comment. A game that is going to be very exciting to watch, though. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the number 25 UCLA Bruins going on the road to take on the number 8 Gonzaga Bulldogs. Now, UCLA, they're 7-2 on the season. They've got wins over Oregon and Washington over their last couple. They did lose to Cal. They also lost to Arizona, but in a very competitive game. Other than that, they haven't really played a very strong schedule. So we'll see what they can come up with in this one. Obviously, a nice showing there against Oregon. And yeah, I mean, there's great season-long numbers, or at least very respectable ones. This isn't a team that plays with a crazy amount of pace. Their defensive numbers look good. Their rebounding numbers are also, they don't look good on paper necessarily, in terms of total rebounding, but they do end up usually holding their own. About to be a big test here, though, guys. They are going to be playing against the Gonzaga Bulldogs there up in Seattle, and the Zags have been pretty amazing. They're 9-1 on the season. They've got a very wild, very kind of unique roster there. A lot of veterans on that team. Their only loss this year, they got blown out by Michigan, but they've beaten everybody else. They beat Oklahoma, they beat Creighton, they beat Arizona State, knocked off Alabama by 10, beat Maryland by 40. They beat Kentucky in a blowout as well, and then their last game was a walkover win there against North Florida. So everything headed the right way here for Gonzaga. Braden Huff's leading the way with 17 points per game. They're 11th in the nation in scoring. They're 7th in the nation in rebounding. They're giving up only 65 points per game. This team is looking absolutely nuts and poised for big, big stuff, guys. Gonzaga, they're 8.5-point favorites here at home. Not even double-digit favorites. We got a total of 147.5. UCLA is only 3-6 against the spread. They're 5-4 to the under. Gonzaga is 8-2 against the spread. They're 7-3 to the under. Taking a big favorite here in a game that, with big trends towards the under would normally be a little bit scary, but in this situation, I think Gonzaga runs away with this game. I don't think UCLA is going to be able to do anything here except for try and slow down the pace of play. I don't think they can slow it down that much. Give me the Gonzaga Bulldogs here at -8.5. Another play that's definitely going straight to the pinned comment. Guys, that's all the games we have for today. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Help us get to 700 likes so we can give away another hoodie to one random commenter on this video. Make sure you're commenting down below so you have a chance to actually win the giveaway. If we do get to 700 likes, let me know in the comments any questions you have, or just type in something random. I will definitely be getting back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're getting over to the secondary channel if you're interested in seeing some NBA action for today. Click the link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com. All kinds of free stuff over there. Free picks, free props, free everything. Also, get on that premium picks. They've been doing really, really well, or coming off a big day there on the NBA prop side. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.